I'm James Rowson, and here we are in our third chapter today, and we're going to discuss probably what I think is the most important tool in baseball, which is the batting tee. The batting tee has obviously been around for many years, and it's the simplest tool, yet it's the most used tool at the professional level, and I feel that it should be the most used tool at any level of baseball in order to understand how to execute the proper swing. We're going to discuss different drills that we'll use with the batting tee. We're going to discuss the proper placement of the batting tee, and when you're trying to use the batting tee to get results, or when you're trying to use the batting tee in order to create proper habits. There are different ways to use the tee. It's very important that hitters of all ages understand what drills they're doing and why they're doing these specific drills. Simply start with placement of the tee. Some hitters will simply place the tee in front of the plate. Some hitters will use the middle of the plate, and sometimes the tee is set a little deeper. All three of those positions are okay based on what you're trying to accomplish with the tee work that you're doing. So let's start, keep it simple to start with. We'll place a tee right there at the front edge of home plate. The key when I'm doing tee work as a player is to try to be very consistent with putting the barrel on the ball consistently. When I'm doing tee work, I don't want to hit many balls off the label or the handle. I don't want to get caught hitting many balls off the end of the bat off the tee. What I'm trying to do is find a nice relaxed position in which I can constantly put the barrel of my bat on the baseball in a squared up position. So you'll see players at times make contact in which the barrel's here, but this is not a squared up position. When I'm working off the tee, I would like to get my barrel squared up on the ball in this position, regardless of where the ball is on the plate. So if there was a pitch that was going to be inside, I don't want to find myself in this position to hit that pitch. Once again, even though the ball's inside, what I'm looking to do is make sure I get in a position to get my barrel squared up again on that baseball. That's the position I want to be in. Head down, strong position, barrel squared up through the baseball. If the pitch is away or outside, that's where you'll see hitters with the tendency of trying to hit the ball the other way. You'll see a little bit of a drop and undercut, and they kind of get in this position, which is not where I want to be. Again, even though that ball's away, I'm not trying to hit that ball to the opposite field. I'm trying to square the ball up with the good part of my barrel. If I do that properly and hit that ball here, that ball is going to go into right field or right center field naturally. The biggest issue off of the tee is what I call where hitters start trying to guide the baseball based on where the ball is, as opposed to keeping it simple and understanding my job is to put the barrel of the bat, the sweet spot of the bat, on the baseball with consistency. That should be the main focus of just normal tee work and trying to hit the ball. After I strike the ball, one thing I'd like to read on the ball is the way the ball spins off the tee tells me a lot. That's what makes tee work some of the best work in the game. It's important to understand that once I hit the baseball, I'm trying to actually get what we call backspin on the ball. When I hit the baseball and I don't hit, my best chance of getting backspin is when I make contact with that ball here, square, I drive through that ball, I create backspin. If I don't make that square contact and I kind of get off the end, sometimes I'll create side spin. If I don't make that good contact and I get over the top of the ball, I'll create top spin. Backspin is the best way to get the ball to travel and elevate over time. It's what all major league hitters, it's what all hitters are searching for, is to hit line drives with good backspin, allow the ball to elevate, allow the ball to gain ground in the outfield, and most balls that are doubles or home runs that are driven in the gap are driven with backspin, which really is initiated by having that good square contact and not being off-centered with your contact. So tee work is all about squaring the barrel up on the baseball for the most part. As we go into tee work, now we talk about how I can use this tee work in order to create good habits through drill work, and we'll talk about the placement of the tee, which is very important as far as being inside or being outside. You'll see a lot of hitters nowadays work on some of these drills where they'll put the tee really close to them and they put the tee inside. It's really important to understand that if I'm using this drill here, that this is simply a drill. It's trying to force me to do a few things the right way. If I'm going to have the ball here, it's going to force me to keep myself in a good position. I won't lean over much because I can't get to the ball that way. It'll keep me upright. It'll keep me tall. It'll keep me in a position to drive the baseball. It'll also force me to try to use my hands the right way to the ball and work in here. I don't have a whole lot of room to get my hands outside the ball or around the ball. This drill is to help me get to the position I want to be in and fight as hard as I can to get the barrel of the bat to the baseball. It's a very tough drill to execute. It's important that hitters remember that this is just a drill. In a perfect world, I don't want to make contact with this pitch at this point. What I would like to do when I'm normally hitting is to make contact with that same pitch, but a little further out in front, which is going to give me some room to execute that swing properly. So when that tee is back and close to you in this area, it's important that we understand this is drill work. This is not my game swing. This is where I'm just trying to force myself to do the right things, to work my hands the right way. I should probably be doing this at a lighter pace, nice and easy, keeping my body nice and relaxed as I go through these drills. I don't want to be doing these drills as if I'm going full speed trying to hit, because the chance is I'll be using the tee, but I'll actually be creating a bad habit for myself. I want to make sure I'm creating good habits. I'm trying to be very accurate with these drills as opposed to being very fast and very powerful in these drills. Second place you'll see a tee place sometimes is very deep. You'll see the tee place really deep, maybe on the close to the back leg in the setup. Again, when you see drills of this nature, this is a drill. We're not trying to make contact this deep. It's very hard. Again, if we said the goal is to get the barrel squared up to the baseball, it's very hard to get the barrel squared up to a ball that deep. That's not going to work for the most part as a hitter. So we have to find the point in which that works. Some drills that allow me to work with this tee this deep is to make sure when I take my stride that I'm not jumping out here. If I stride and I stride heavy, I pass that pitch, there's nothing I can do to hit that ball. Having the ball deep in a setup can help me to work on making sure when I take my stride that I'm able to stay in this position and I should still be able to get to that baseball. Again, drill purposes, not the game swing. Very important to understand the difference between those two as a hitter at any age, because you see all the time a guy works very hard working on a drill, and in actuality, he's creating a bad habit with the drill because he doesn't understand the work part of it and then the game part of it. So if I use those two drills, once again, I put myself in this position and I'll get to the point where I stand here. I'm looking to be squared up on the ball. I'm looking to have squared up contact, head down on contact, obviously, in this position. If that ball happens to be inside, it should be this position. And if that ball happens to be away, it's going to be this position. All three are with the barrel squared up. How deep the ball gets will determine the direction in which the ball goes. It's very important for young hitters and all hitters, never guide the baseball. Never try specifically to guide a baseball. Only time that happens is if there's a situational hitting opportunity and you're trying to drive a ball to right field. In that case, your pitch selection would be the most important aspect of that, not you trying to guide a baseball to either field. Very important. It's very misunderstood in the game. Everyone tries to stay inside baseballs and drive the ball the other way, but we have to do that correctly in order to maximize our swing. The tee will generally tell you how you're hitting the baseball. If you hit the ball square and you get backspin, you're doing the right things. If you hit the ball square and you get topspin, you're going to notice immediately, I need to make an adjustment. It's the perfect tool to teach the hitter, and you don't have to have a coach or someone else with you. If you understand how to read it and read the ball, you can get that work done and practice many times on your own and find yourself getting better because you understand how to read the spin of the baseball. So as we go through this ending, should I say, of this session, we'll talk about the position that we want to be in at contact, barrel on the baseball at all times, head down position, finishing through the swing. We want to make sure we stay away from label on the ball, into the bat off the ball. We're trying to achieve this position on every swing to be here, square, be nice and easy through the ball. Should still finish with my head down and that position as I'm rolling through. One of the key mistakes you'll also see on tee hitting is you'll see young hitters start a good swing, get to the baseball, the head will come up to where they think the ball is supposed to go. Once you lose that position, you lose the accuracy of your bat on the ball here. Sometimes you're going to get caught here. Usually as your head comes up, your barrel will drop. And it happens common most of the time, and if you keep your head down, you tend to be able to keep your top hand in this position. Your barrel tends to stay up. You can drive balls more often. Again, what you'll find out when you catch balls on this side, you can read the spin. If I work around this baseball, and that way, that's not where I want to go. I had to work here to come around, and I can read that ball was headed down to the ground fairly quickly. That's a top spin ball. The ball's headed down to the ground. That's not the spin I'm looking for as well. I'm looking for the spin that's going to be straight, true, backspin, working more toward the middle of the field. We'll talk about what we said with location. Balls away or balls in. If I'm going to use a ball away, my thought is still going to be squared up contact. So often, again, guys try to catch that ball here and they're trying to guide it that way. You're usually going to see that ball kind of fade to the line, have that slice to it. That's not what we're looking for. We want our balls to have four-seam backspin and stay true. So when we're trying to drive a ball the other way, it's all about squaring it up, not necessarily having my bat angled. This position's not good. This is where I want to be. And I'm just going to allow my contact point to decide where that ball goes. As a hitter, I don't have to think about off the tee, hit this ball in this spot or hit this ball in this spot. I really want to think about control my barrel, get to that baseball, and allow my swing to make that happen. I don't want to force the ball anywhere. That ball will go slightly to right center simply because of my contact point, not me guiding the ball off the tee. So head down off the tee, position at contact are the most important deals when we're working on tee. Also understanding, again, what's work, drill work, and then what work am I doing for results. Very important to distinguish those two things from one another. It'll keep you out of a lot of bad habits moving forward. Once again, the most important tool for a baseball player is this batting tee. Use it.